What's up, everybody? I'd like to welcome you back to Drew Kelly's philosophy. I like my shirt today. It's a little cross. Hair's a little sloppy, but I think I'll get a haircut. Maybe this weekend. Hopefully, actually, you know what? This weekend I will get a haircut. So let's dive right into this. You know the drill. Hopefully, it's set off with a quote by the man Martin Heidegger. Reads, "Time is not a thing, thus nothing which is, and yet it remains constant in its passing away, without being something temporal, like the beings in time." So yes, time and beings are separate. Time doesn't pass away. Technically, time does pass away, but it always will remain as is, whereas being will ultimately pass away, even ourselves. The difference is that the full essence of what we are will ultimately pass away, whereas the full essence of time will always be there. Time will always exist, and that's just the way it always has been. So, enough with the quote. Let's get right into this. So let me do my best here. So we left off talking about how Heidegger notices the way in which human beings have viewed the world. Not in the sense that the Greeks did, where the Greeks ultimately allowed everything to present itself as it truly is. Whereas modern man, concerned heavily with modern science and modern technology, receives everything in this structural framework that we have put upon ourselves. Like, for example, the scientific method. We tend to view the world in terms of structural skeletons that we've already created, and that is not, I don't think Heidegger thinks that this is a good habit of modern human beings. Now, he writes here that this actually started with, so it reads here, man became subject, the self-conscious shaper and grantor of all that comes to him from beyond himself. The modern scientist does not let things present as they are in themselves. He arrests them, objectifies them, sets them over against himself, precisely by representing them to himself in a particular way. But this does not happen simply because nature intrinsically is of this character. Rather, it happens specifically because man himself represents nature as of this character, and then grasps and investigates it according to methods that, not surprisingly, fit perfectly the reality so conceived. So it's as if Heidegger is saying that we are missing out on a fuller understanding of the world simply because we have this mindset. We always want to understand things the way that we want to understand things, not necessarily how they really are. Now, the modern technologist is regularly expected, and expects himself, to be able to impose order on all data, to process every sort of entity, non-human and human alike, and to devise solutions for every kind of problem. He is forever getting things under control. Isn't that what modern technology is? Modern science is? It's essentially taking... Okay, so let's run through the scientific method really quick, right? Okay, so you have a question. Why is the sky blue? Okay, then you look at literature, right? And you say, okay, well, let's look at the literature that has been written on this topic before, and let's educate ourselves on this topic to see if we can add to the literature. Okay, and then we design an don't quote me on the scientific method, but something of this sort. Let's pull it up. The scientific method. Come on. The scientific method. Yes, here we go. Okay, so observation, question, research area, topic. Okay, so then based on the research, then you propose a hypothesis. Okay, the blue sky's blue because of these gases and the sun and whatever, right? Then you test the experiment. You design an experiment and you test it. Then you analyze the data that you received from your experiment. And finally, you report your conclusions, and either your hypothesis is supported or it's not supported. Now, I'm pretty sure Heidegger would be a fan of eliminating the scientific method in the quest for understanding truly what the world is. Now, I'm not an expert, but so, however extensively a Heidegger may speak about man, his thinking and his doing, he never loses sight of the truth that in the is of everything that is, being is uttered. So being is inherent in the is of everything that is. So it seems to me that if we do not receive what truly is of anything, then we truly cannot understand the true being of that thing. I'm trying to think of an example here. So this book, this physical book, okay, the being of this book, I will not be able to fully discover unless I eliminate these preconceived ideas of how to receive information. Modern technology, like ancient technique from which it springs, and like science and metaphysics, which are essentially one with it, is a mode of revealing. So modern technology is a mode of revealing. Being, through its manner of ruling in all that is manifesting itself within it. This is really interesting because it reads here, modern technology is a mode of revealing. Being, through its manner of ruling in all that is manifesting itself within it. Okay, let's move along. In the modern Cartesian scientific age, man does not merely impose his own construction upon reality. He does indeed represent reality to himself, refusing to let things emerge as they are, which he does forever catch reality up in a conceptual system and find that he must fix it thus before he can see it at all. So this Cartesian scientific age, I would say, is pretty harmful. More importantly, technology in its essence precedes and is more fundamental than science. There is no mere statement concerning this is no mere statement concerning chronological priority. For the essence of technology is the very mode of being's revealing of itself that is holding sway in all phenomenon of the modern age. So technology is even more fundamental than science. So technology, so understood, is in no sense an instrument of man's making or in his control. It is rather that phenomenon ruled from out of being itself that is centrally determining all of Western history. Modern technology in its essence is a challenging revealing. It involves a contending with everything that is, for it, quote, sets upon everything, imposing upon it a demand that seizes and requisitions it for use. Under the dominion of this challenging revealing, nothing is allowed to appear as it is in itself. Moreover, today all things are being swept together in a vast network in which their only meaning lies in their being available to serve some end that will itself also be directed toward getting everything under control. Heidegger calls this fundamentally undifferentiated supply of the available the standing reserve. So let me define that really quick, just in case you missed it. Standing reserve is the undifferentiated supply of the available for use. So today, in the modern Cartesian scientific age, everything is viewed not as it is, but as it can be used toward some specific end. So for example, let's take this book. This book in the modern age is only viewed as some object that can be used, and if it cannot be used, then it is discarded or it is irrelevant today. And I want to also bring up the point that Jordan Peterson makes. And for all those who don't know Jordan Peterson, he's like the internet uncle, internet dad. You all should check him out. But essentially, Jordan Peterson has made this one argument that states that everything throughout history has been viewed in terms of its use for some particular end. Now that's interesting because Heidegger is saying that to truly understand the being of items or objects in the physical world, we need to not view them from this conceptual framework, but rather receive them as they truly are. Now, it's very interesting this split or this dichotomy between use versus being, right? And we'll discuss this in future episodes. I hope you all have a great day, and thank you.